Today I'm going to show you how to grill hot dogs using a charcoal grill. You know, the easy way so you can start grilling your own hot dogs today. Hey, this is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue Nation and welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, we try to help you enhance and amplify your backyard barbecue fun. Now, after grilling for many years, I've kind of forgot that there's a lot of you that are brand new to grilling and doing hot dogs. It's not as easy as it looks. And there's something about a grilled hot dog over charcoal that makes it taste just that much better. So grab your wiener and a bag of charcoal, Scott. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. For today's cook, I'm using my slow and sear kettle, and if you don't have a slow and sear kettle, well, check the links below, but if not, just use your Weber kettle or any type of charcoal grill, it'll work. Now you can also use a gas grill to do this, but your wiener's gonna taste like gas. Nobody wants a gassy wiener. Now our first step is obviously we gotta get this charcoal lit. Now I'm just gonna take my lid and set it off the side because I'm not even using it today. If you haven't seen one of these yet, I highly suggest you run to Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart and pick up your own charcoal chimney. It's going to save you a lot of stress when you're trying to light up charcoal. You can thank me for it, and it's only like $10 to $30 depending on which brand you buy. So I'm just gonna put my chimney right in here, and the charcoal that I'm using today is from B&B. They're just the briquettes. Any kind that you got is fine. Now the amount of charcoal that you're gonna use just depends on the amount of hot dogs that you're gonna grill. I'm doing a full chimney because I'm actually doing a couple packs of hot dogs. And a great way to light up your chimney, you can just go ahead and purchase some of these tumbleweeds, or they have the little wax cubes by Weber. Both of them work fine. You can use newspaper, but there is people out there that are gonna tell you, why are you putting so much ink on your charcoal? I actually got a comment about that on one of my other charcoal videos. My guess though, that guy doesn't wash his wiener. Pick our chimney off, we'll go ahead and put our tumbleweed in and we're gonna light it up. Make sure it's fully burning before you go ahead and put your chimney on. You don't want to end up snuffing it out. Place your chimney right over the center of that tumbleweed. Now just set a timer for like 15 minutes, and that way those charcoal briquettes are gonna start ashing over and you'll know that they're all the way lit. It's been 15 minutes and my briquettes are starting to ash over, and you can see that these are starting to turn white on the edges. That means it's time to go ahead and dump them in the pit. This chimney's awesome because it has a little extra handle so you can run two hands, and it's not that hot where you can hold on to it. Let's go ahead and dump her in. Now you're gonna wanna make sure that you set this off to the side because this thing is screaming hot and you don't wanna go ahead and get one of those motorcycle burns on your ankle. You know, muffler burn. Now if you have a charcoal rake or some type of stick, you're gonna wanna go ahead and even out your briquettes on the bottom of the pit. It's real easy. You're just gonna start spreading them out. Get them kind of evenly right across here, and this is gonna be warm, so you're gonna wanna watch out. And I also have my vents all the way open because I wanna make sure that I'm getting plenty of airflow through this pit. Now, throw on your grate. And I'm gonna let it preheat for about 5 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and clean it up. And while that grate is preheating, it's a perfect time to talk about hot dogs. I prefer a good beef frank, or beef hot dog, or beef wiener. Now the pork and chicken ones, as a whole, I said as a whole. I didn't say chicken and pork ones are made of lips and assholes. But seriously, there's all different brands of good hot dogs out there. These are a couple of my favorite, but there's many more. The ones that I can't get are like the Vienna sausages from Chicago area. Love them things. Just can't ever get them. Now I'm gonna use my Easy Function scraper, and the great thing about this one, it's got a beer opener on it. You can do the old pop-a-top again. Cheers. You know, standing over a hot pit can dehydrate you, so grab your favorite beverage. Now I have a wire brush also, but I typically use this for inside the pit because these little metal bristles, they can come off and stick to the grate and you might get hurt. But I just take my wood scraper, clean her up a little bit, and this was pretty clean, so there wasn't a lot of scraping to do on it. But if you're looking for a good wood scraper, I'll leave a link in the description below for this one. I mean, everybody's gotta have a bottle opener. Grab a couple gloves out and we'll go ahead and start loading up this little kettle. You don't have to use gloves, but I prefer to because I'm touching cameras, I'm touching food, I'm touching hot stuff. I wear nitrile gloves. But when I'm not filming, I just wash my hands real good. And a good way to tell the temperature if you don't have a fancy thermometer or anything like that is hold your hand over the grate and start counting. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. That's pretty hot. So we're pushing right around, I'm gonna say 400 degrees right now. That's hot. It's really hot. But if you want to know the exact temperature, well, it has a thermometer on the lid, or you can buy a ThermoWorks Signals. Put a little ambient temperature probe in there. That'll tell you. Now I know all the Nathan fans out there are gonna be saying, why aren't you using Nathan hot dogs? They're the best. They are really good. But I just have Hebrew Nation today. Kind of goes along with the Dead Broke Barbecue Nation, right? Hebrew Nation. I do plenty of Nathans, but today this is what I'm using. Now we're gonna set these on a couple at a time and just work our way across the grill. And get a few on this side too. And this is hot, but I've been cooking for long enough where it doesn't really hurt me too bad. And we'll get the last couple on there. Then I just like to get them nice and tight. Now there's all kinds of things you can do. You can go ahead and do some cool little spiral cuts on them. But for today, we're doing it the easy way. And now I'm just gonna give them like 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and rotate them a little. I'm just wondering how many of you people remember the old saying, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. If you heard of it, leave a comment below. Yeah, it was a good commercial way back in like the 70s and 80s. And make sure you have a good set of tongs, or if not, when you're gonna go ahead and move these, you wanna put on some cotton liners underneath some nitrile gloves. So we're gonna suit up and we're gonna do our first rotation. Get above the hot dogs, either push them with your tongs, or I just go like that. About a quarter turn, and that's our first rotation. And now we'll wait another 2 minutes. It's time to go ahead and rotate our wiener again. Just a little bit at a time, go down them. And you can see we're starting to get nice color on some of these. And if you can kind of keep them tight, that helps so you don't get any of those curvy wieners. Because everybody likes a nice straight wiener in between their buns. Let's go ahead and rotate them again. Kind of slide them forward. You can see that they're starting to get a nice, pretty color on them. Even got a little bit of grill marks. A nice slow roasted wiener is the best flavor. It's really absorbing a lot of that charcoal. And you want good texture, so slow roasting them this way, they got a little bit of snap. They're not just all limp and boring. So when you put it in your mouth, it's gonna be bursting with flavor, because hot dogs get a bad rep that they're not any good. But when they're cooked on charcoal, they're a mouth-watering delight. Now, we're just gonna start rotating them back towards this side of the grill. Grab them and start pulling them this way. And I know this looks scary that I'm right above the charcoal, but with these nitriles and these cottons, it's not that crazy hot. If you're new to this, don't put your hands above the grill until you get used to it. Use a set of tongs instead, or a spatula or whatever. But I'm really starting to like the color on these, that's for sure. All right, so our hot dogs have made a whole trip forward and a whole trip back. I'm gonna say that these guys are done. Nice and stiff, no bendy wendy. So we're pretty good. Let's get them in this pan. Then we'll go ahead and doctor them up. But these dogs certainly have some good color on them. You know, I call this two fisting some wieners. My favorite scene from pretty much any movie is me, myself, and Irene. Look at me, look at me. You all know that video. Little snap. I want to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreons and all of you that have joined the membership over at Dead Broke Barbecue. And again, don't forget, we have a cool Facebook group called the Dead Broke Barbecue Nation. If you like cooking, join us and show us your wiener pictures. Actually, we have the Beat Your Meat contest at the beginning of every month, and this month, July 4th, is the hot dog or wiener. Take a good picture of your wiener and send it to me. What? deadbrokebarbecue@gmail.com. Not that wiener picture. So I've got 3 hot dogs ready to go ahead and add some condiments. They look good, they got good color. And they're starting to like kind of crisp up a little bit. And that's what I want in a hot dog. I don't want it to be just a bunch of mush. I want it to have a little bit of that charcoal crispy flavor to it. Now we're gonna add a little bit of relish to this one. Gotta have some relish on there. Not a lot, but I like a little. And obviously you gotta have some onion. I prefer white onion on mine. Get a little bit of mustard on there. What the heck? You know, it's supposed to squirt out and be nice and zigzaggy, but hard comer. And it wouldn't be a hot dog to my good friend Scott the Bears fan from Chicago if it didn't have a little bit of ketchup. Tells me it all the time, right sir? You gotta have ketchup on a hot dog. What are you thinking? Now it looks pretty, it looks nice, but we gotta go ahead and do the roll and the poke. It's a perfectly grilled hot dog. Can't ask for any better. If you do it like this, every single time, 100%, you're gonna have a good cooked wiener. I see what you're saying, Scott. The ketchup adds just a little bit of extra goodness to it. And always have available your favorite adult beverage to wash it down. These buns are so soft, my wiener fits in it perfectly. You gotta have a good soft bun. Maybe you can push it in there a little deeper. Try that mustard again. Here, what the flying F-bomb. Oh. Open it up a little wider. Oops. That'll help. Jesus, making a mess. There we go. Close enough. Now it came out so fast I couldn't make a zigzag either. Now I do toast my hot dog buns sometimes, and that does add a lot to it. But for the beginner, don't worry about it. But you can put them on there for the last couple rotations and toast the edges a little if you want to. Well, it's that time again. Roll the nation. And if by chance some of your friends have tasted your wiener, they're gonna be going crazy over it. They're gonna be saying, can you give me your wiener right now? Everybody likes a good wiener in their mouth. And you want good texture. So this slow roasted starts to actually crisp up that outer skin or skin. I mean, I don't know if there's enough wiener jokes in the world where I'd get sick of it. It's funny that people burn hot dogs. You saw right there. I didn't burn them. They're cooked perfectly. Don't burn your hot dogs. It's good to get some grill marks on it, but, and certainly don't microwave it. That really sucks. You can boil them still. You can boil them. If you're in a hurry, you gotta boil hot dogs, don't microwave them. It changes the molecular structure of the food. You don't want to become an alien lizard person. Right? God, you're making a mess all over. You have to use the FOD again.